and welcome to Something Witchy, a Sabrina the Teenage Witch rewatch podcast. I'm Laura Cotter.
And I'm Sky Orchard.
And we're still doing it.
Sure are.
Every week. Are you ready for your question of the week, Sky?
Yep.
I will go first because you might need to take a minute to think, and I've already thought of mine. If you were to die, what would you leave me in your will? And if I was to die, what would I leave you in my will?
Okay.
Okay, do you want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay, because I was thinking about this. I was driving around earlier today and I was thinking about it. And my first thought was like, well, I could leave Sky my books, but I feel like we have vastly different book tastes. I'll give you first choice to pick through my books. That'll be part of it. By the way, this recording is now legally binding.
Oh, snap.
But then I was like, what else would Sky want of mine? And I was like, oh, I know. You would want my paper plate Abraham Lincoln mask that we made together.
Glad you still have it.
And I think I actually have it. I do. I have it on my desk. Hold on. And I will take a picture of it and put it on socials. You're also going to want this.
Yes, choose the right whale.
It is a picture of a right whale, which is a type of whale, an endangered whale. It has a big banner on it that says CTRW. And it's from was it like a certification course or something? It was some sort of training course that Sky and I took about how to talk about things like climate change with kids and families. And apparently we were not actually very good at understanding.
They didn't like our ideas of lesson plans.
I think we came up with a fun lesson. And they were like, no, that's not really what we're trying to do. And I'm like, well, then I don't understand what we're trying to do.
It's like, excuse me, we work at a nonprofit children's museum. This is perfect for us.
Yeah, we just sat in the back of the room and giggled about the phrase choose the right whale for about 30 minutes during that training session.
Considering the fact that we were in Utah, or technically still haven't escaped Utah, a lot more people should have chuckled.
Yeah. So for those of you who do not know, choose the right is a very popular Mormon saying. And in fact, children often get cheap little rings that say CTR on them when they're elementary school aged.
We're really funny, y'all.
It was hilarious to us and no one else.
That's sort of how it goes for us, though. So.
Yeah. That is this podcast. It's hilarious to us and our 70 listeners. We love all of you for having the same sense of humor.
Yes, one of us.
Okay, so what will you leave me when you die?
Initially, I also was like, well, Laura likes books. But as you said, we have pretty separate tastes there. We do crossover in some points. So I think sort of a first choice of books as well.
Okay.
And then you can have whatever chicken toys from my youth and my collections I still own and have not pawned off to my niece.
And I'm going to create a Chicken Sky shrine. Ooh, try saying that really fast.
Chicken Sky. I can't even
Chicken
do it
Sky
once.
shrine. I will need a picture of you in a chicken costume at some point to complete my shrine.
Okay, I will work on a chicken costume at some point.
The Al's Toy Barn one in Toy Story.
If you can find that, I will wear that.
All right, that'll be this year's Christmas gift.
Can't wait. I'll wear it so often.
I'm so excited for you to die so I can get your chicken toys.
Thank you.
I mean, yours are actually mine is just crap we've made over the years.
I don't know if I have any of the crap. I feel like I might have Abraham Lincoln.
I definitely still have it somewhere. It's actually in this desk too. It is. It is right here. It sits in front of me every week, Sky.
Oh my gosh. You should post the picture of us together in that when we first became friends.
I will. What else is this thing? Oh, this is actually our write-up. It was from the National Network for Ocean and Climate Change Interpretation. And this is our worksheet that we filled out. And then I have a sticky note from you that says, because friendship and right whales are magic, heart Sky, PS CTRW.
Amazing.
I think you left me this when you left that job.
Probably. I was like, yeet, but love you.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, that's some social media content for the week because I haven't had any for a while. I think I will do this entire write-up too. You wrote very small. Can I read you the first part of this?
Why not?
Have you ever wanted to see a whale in its natural habitat? Well, there's a whale called the right whale that naturally likes to swim in shallow waters. So theoretically, you can see it from the beach. You wouldn't even need to take a boat out to sea. Even though right whales like shallow waters, it's hard to see them currently because there are only 300 to 400 living currently. But don't worry, we can be protectors of the right whale. Simply remember to CTRW. Choose the right whale. That's our opening paragraph.
It's amazing.
And then we tried to connect it to Utah by saying, how can we help the right whales here in Utah? Okay, so this is season 2, episode 8, Witch Trash. TV guide description. After Sabrina's country cousins express their anger over Sabrina getting the family spellbook, they magically lock the Spellmans and their guests in the house. Our alternative description is, a family feud erupts when hillbilly cousins, Lonnie Anderson and Alice Ghostly, arrive from the other realm. I actually kind of think I like the TV guide one better this time.
I was about to say that too. Paramount Plus takes the L this time.
Well, Paramount's struggling in a lot of ways this week.
Yeah, it might be time to look at my subscription
This is why I have the DVDs
that you use so frequently.
I have not yet used on my new DVD player. Oh, I hope my dad doesn't listen to this. All right, this originally aired November 14th, 1997. It was directed by Peter Baldwin. So we have a new one, not Gary Halverson. Writers are Nick Bakay and Robin Bakay, his wife. This is her only Sabrina episode she wrote, and then she wrote 4 episodes of a show called What's So Funny, and that is about it for her. We have a few guest stars, starting with Lonnie Anderson as Racine. She is from WKRP in Cincinnati. All Dogs Go to Heaven. Did you ever watch that movie, Sky?
I think maybe once or twice.
It's traumatizing. A Night at the Roxbury and the Clueless TV show. Alice Ghostly is Great Grandma. She is from To Kill a Mockingbird, Designing Women, Grease, The Graduate, and she was also a witch called Esmeralda on Bewitched, who was a witch maid who was rusty with her magic. And she sadly passed away September 21st, 2007. We have Edie McClurg as Mama. She's from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Wreck-It Ralph, Carrie, Seventh Husband, and 223 other acting credits. So basically, you probably recognize her from something, or her voice from something.
You go, Mama.
Gary Grubbs is Boyd. He's from Glee, Bones, Angel, Will and Grace, Growing Pains, and Married with Children. Tom Poston is another one who should probably look very familiar. He's our mortgage banker. He is from Newhart, Mork and Mindy, Princess Diaries 2, Grace Under Fire, and something from the 50s. It's called Hawkins Falls, a television novel, and he was in 1,044 episodes of that.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but I was like, dang, okay. He also passed away in 2007 on April 30th. Lastly, we have John Griffin as the Freedom Fighter. He is in Call Me Cat, Strong Medicine, The Young and the Restless, and Sweet Valley High. What were your overall thoughts of this episode, Sky?
It wasn't what I thought it would be, but it was still a fun time.
It is a fun episode. It's not one that I usually remember very well. And I don't know why, because it's not one that is like bad or anything.
Yeah, I think I just expected, well, I don't know how you can get more like redneck hillbilly, but I think I just expected a different plot line. It was still a fun plot line.
Also, these hillbillies were definitely based off of the Beverly Hillbillies show.
I never watched that one.
It's some hillbillies who come into a lot of money and they move to the big city.
Oh, because they strike oil, right? I think I've seen the intro song.
Yeah, you've definitely heard the intro song, I'm sure. So yeah, it was kind of a play off of that. Our cold open, Sabrina is rubbing Hilda's feet as the aunts watch on suspiciously. Sabrina asks them for a car, then hands them a report card with a C in history. She blames getting a C on not having a car. Hilda and Zelda tell her she needs to learn to work around obstacles, and Hilda summons a freedom fighter to help her with her paper on the Freedom Trail.
Which the Freedom Trail is a 2.5-mile jaunt on a red brick road throughout Boston. Can't miss it. That begins at the Boston Common, where, fun fact about the Boston Common, you can meet many squirrel friends and they'll come right up to you. It's delightful.
Lovely.
And then it ends at the Bunker Hill Monument. Notable stops include Granary Burying Ground, King's Chapel, Boston Massacre Site, Copp's Hill Burying Ground, and Paul Revere's house.
Fun times. Our outfit intro is apparently a tap costume, and she says, "I'm all tapped out." And I definitely thought it was a genie outfit before she started tapping.
It's not the choice I would make for a tap costume. Like, I was expecting, like, more suit tails, like Broadway, what you'd see, like, tapping.
Oh, you know what it kind of reminds me of? Because, like, I was like, this looks like something I should know. Especially with, like, the little hat that she had on. It reminds me of, like, those cigarette girls that they used to have.
Oh.
That's kind of what it looks like, a little bit.
Did they tap?
I don't think so, but I don't know. I wasn't alive for cigarette girls.
Really?
Maybe at some clubs they tapped. Maybe that's what we're missing in society today. Bring back cigarette girls.
I mean, might as well try anything.
Goodness. Now they'd be like vape girls. So Valerie and Harvey show up to take Sabrina to breakfast before the aquarium, and they're going to Big John's, where if you order the lumberjack special before 8:30, you get to keep the plate. And if you get there before 8:15, you get to keep the fork. And I love Harvey's. Do you think they're going out of business?
I mean, maybe.
That or they get a really good deal on plates and forks. Or maybe it's a money laundering scheme.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Yeah. Okay. That's what we're going with. Big John's is money laundering. Sabrina drops another subtle hint that she wants a car, and Hilda is over there using the piano like a desk, and I just had to look away. When they go to leave, the door is stuck. Then they hear the sound of other windows and doors locking. Hilda and Zelda try other doors, but they're locked in. Even the cat door won't open. Harvey just kind of looks unfazed.
And Valerie has this line of, "Is it time to start worrying about the oxygen supply?"
I mean, do we think all the vents in the house are also closed?
I would assume not, because the one door, double glass doors Zelda tries, like you can clearly see air can get through.
Yeah. The aunts and Sabrina talk in the dining room. Hilda may have forgotten to mail the mortgage payment.
Which I was shocked there were mortgage payments. I mean, all their bonds, their strategic selling of antiques, and yet we still have a mortgage after being in this house for who knows how many years.
Maybe it's one of those things like, you know, when you're first starting out as an adult, it's good to have like one bill so that you can build up a credit score. Maybe this is how they created a credit score.
Wizard credit.
But also, if you could get a mortgage payment at 1% interest from the 1800s, like, I would take that deal.
Yeah.
Knowing where we're at now. Oh, also, Zelda says something like, my little sister is a little brain dead, which is confirmation that Zelda is the older of the two, which I don't think we've actually gotten explicitly stated yet.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think we've deduced that, but it hasn't been actually said.
We used our brains.
Yeah.
Because we're not brain dead.
We're not a little brain dead. We're sometimes a little medicated or caffeinated. But
It's true.
They're going to take care of it while Sabrina stalls Harvey and Valerie.
We get a little bit more spell knowledge that there is a mind freeze spell. However, Hilda warns against it because when people thaw out, they tend to lose the letter R, a pirate's worst nightmare.
Which is more indication that there are quite a few spells that have like lingering effects.
Mm-hmm.
Harvey decides to try the front door anyway and ends up pulling the door handle off. So Sabrina goes to make them breakfast. Hilda and Zelda meet with the mortgage banker, who tells them that it's not foreclosure unless the house is filling up with sand, and slowly starts looking through his Rolodex. Sabrina zaps some orange juice and omelets just as Valerie and Harvey walk into the kitchen, so she has to actually stop the omelets. They insist on hanging out with her, and she has to make eggs the mortal way, but clearly doesn't know how. And even though she doesn't know how to make scrambled eggs, she can still crack an egg with one hand, which I have yet to master that.
Beginner's luck.
I'm also just terrified that I'm always going to get eggshells into things, so I'm so cautious when I break eggs. Even though it's like you can just fish it out. It's not that hard.
Yeah, you get your fork and you do a little fishing.
Quite easy, actually. The banker tells the aunts that they're up to date on payments, so they still don't know why the house is sealed. He slowly goes to call someone. And the whole time they were at the banker, I just thought of the sloth at the DMV sign in Zootopia. It's like the human version of that. Or I guess the witch version of that. Meanwhile, Harvey is extinguishing a fire Sabrina caused, and there are just so many very short scenes. And this is like bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. The banker is calling someone very slowly while Hilda and Zelda look on in frustration. Valerie and Harvey take one bite and claim they're full, and I don't blame them because why are the eggs that color? Like, it looks like she almost dumped a bunch of cinnamon into the eggs, but then also somehow made them gray.
You know, desperate times.
They looked more like the color of hash browns than they did eggs.
There's also a fire on that pot because of the pot holder catching fire.
The banker rocks back and forth in his chair as he slowly ends the call. The mortgage has been fully paid, and this is where we find out they have a 200-year loan at 1%. Suddenly, it starts raining pork rinds. The banker points out that they have a family problem. Zelda realizes it's Boyd and Racine, their hillbilly cousins. But first, they say, we don't have any relatives that we have problems with. I'm like, really? Marigold, Vesta, Amanda? You guys don't get along well with your relatives.
I feel like they compartmentalize their relatives until they have to think about them. And then it's like, oh.
I would have actually assumed Amanda first. Like, why they didn't immediately go to Amanda is wild. Unless Amanda's locked up somewhere. Maybe she's still in the toy trays.
Yeah, she's still tiny. She deserves it.
Yep. Hilda and Zelda's return is signaled by thunder. Sabrina distracts Valerie and Harvey by having them go play at the pool table she quickly summons.
And we later learn that she completely created a new room in the form of the parlor. And so do you think the mortgage goes up when new rooms are created in this magical house with a magical mortgage. The value's just constantly changing.
I'm going to say it depends on how long they keep the room there. I would say it has to be like at least 48 hours.
That's logical.
I don't know why. I think that's the rule. I'm just making that up as the rule.
Might as well.
Because if I was a witch mortgage banker, that's what I would do. The aunts come downstairs and let Sabrina know what happened. The cousins are mad because Great Granny left them the magic book in her will.
They tend to lash out if they have a bad night at bingo, which I feel that. Nothing worse than a bad night at bingo. Like, if you don't get any bingos, get real salty.
Especially, like, if everyone else is winning.
It makes me so mad.
Or, like, if somebody has, like, 3 prizes and you're like...
Shank them with your bingo card.
We do not endorse shanking on this podcast. We also do not endorse gambling on this podcast. But we do. Sabrina still manages to twist this into why she needs a car. Zelda assures her that the feud will be over in a year or 2. As the aunts walk away, Sabrina zaps something and the doorbell rings. She just invited Boyd and Racine over for lunch. The cousins arrive through the linen closet, and they are upset with Sabrina conjuring him. They go downstairs through the unseen stairway. Did you see them go through that back hallway? So I think that's the one that leads to...
Laundry room?
The front door. Because there's one that leads to the front door, one that leads to the kitchen. I think that's one that leads to the front door. Sometimes, not always. Sometimes the front staircase leads to the front door.
Maybe their mortgage changes based on the staircase location, too. More than 48 hours? Ding.
As they're on their way down, Zelda stops Mama from stealing a towel. Mama threatens to make jerky out of Salem. Salem was not featured much in this episode. I wonder if that's because Nick was writing it and he was too busy with like writing or rewriting or something. And he was just like, I can't give Salem a lot of lines.
That makes sense.
Because I feel like there was another one that he wrote and he also didn't have very many lines in it. Or maybe he secretly hated playing Salem and this was his way to get out of it.
How could you hate playing Salem?
So Mama threatens to make jerky out of Salem. Racine immediately asks for the magic book. The cousins go into the dining room as Valerie and Harvey come out from playing pool. Zelda and Sabrina try to distract them again, but Zelda decides to invite them to stay for lunch and goes to warn the cousins. Harvey says he still won't call Valerie Westbridge Slim, and so she's still trying to get Harvey to call her weird nicknames.
They're also confused how cousins magically appeared, and Sabrina said they got in from Hong Kong and just barely woke up.
Which it still seems kind of morning-ish. Maybe it's like noon by this time.
About to have lunch, yeah.
Which, I mean, you wouldn't have to come from that far away to sleep until noon.
Gotta stay awake through the jet lag or else you're screwed.
Whatever, sleep is better. In the dining room, Boyd and Racine are playing with the laptop.
Racine says, look at that, they've got their own still.
Zelda rushes in and stops them. Boyd makes a joke about moonshine. Zelda then warns them about Harvey and Valerie, but Racine says Mama won't break bread with mortals. She can't even know that Sabrina is half mortal. Zelda goes to give Sabrina a backup plan, which are astonishments. They're all eating lunch, with Boyd wearing a hat with Popsy in it.
And Mama points out it would be fine if they could afford brand soda, but cheap soda shows that this man's got no magic book.
And if you remember, Sky, I'm going to traumatize you. Popsy first appears in what episode?
Yep, I know.
Because we can't zap name brand stuff. The aunts and Sabrina keep trying to divert the conversation away from magic, but Racine lets it slip that they're mortal and Mama freaks out. Mama's racist. Species? What is it if it's...
xenophobic in a way?
Sure, we'll go with that one. Sabrina gives Harvey and Valerie the astonishments, and Zelda distracts them by talking about the number 9.
3 times 9 is 27, which is 2 and 7, and 2 plus 7 equals 9. Astonishing.
They race to find a calculator in Sabrina's room. Once they're gone, Mama complains about being around mortals.
Now she can't be buried in the family crypt.
Is that like how, like, if a Catholic commits suicide, they can't be buried in a Catholic cemetery? Like, what does this mean?
We'll never know.
Sabrina tries to play peacemaker and ends up saying that she's half mortal. This further infuriates Mama.
I knew it, those eyes seemed too far apart.
She's an awful woman. Harvey and Valerie are amazed by their reflections in the mirror, and the Victorian doll pictures are back. We're going to have quite a few short scenes. The cousins are eating pudding with crackers in the living room. Sabrina continues to try and find common ground with them by complaining about her lack of a car. Unfortunately, she just riles them up even more. They accuse her of calling them witch trash. She says that she has the magic book, and Mama freaks out. The cousins leave as Zelda and Hilda yell at them. Hilda wants to get revenge. Zelda tells them to remain calm until she sees her smashed laptop. Then she declares war. And this was where I was like, so how few magic books are there in the other realm? Because this is Hilda and Zelda's great-grandmother. So Sabrina's great-great-grandmother, which would mean that Ted, Vesta, and Marigold all don't have magic books because it only went to Zelda and Hilda, which now went to Sabrina.
Well, Ted just lives in it, so he has direct access.
Also, when they gave it to her in the first episode, did they say it was from her dad?
Yep.
Okay, I'm not hallucinating that. So it actually was given to Ted, and then Ted gave it to Sabrina.
There is no continuity.
Or maybe it was given to the siblings as a whole.
Spellman siblings.
Like, I feel like Vesta would want a piece of that. I can't imagine Marigold willingly giving up a claim to her parents' magic book either. Like, so are there like 4 magic books in the other realm?
Or is this like it has the family's recipes in it? So, like, there's magic books around, but this has the specific family spells and recipes.
So you could like get a new magic book, but it's not the same.
Yeah, it doesn't have Granny's recipes or...
Okay, I would buy that. I like that scenario better. Maybe like the older the magic book, the like more magical power it holds too.
That makes sense.
But I like that thought that it's a special hand-me-down. So then we get a montage. Zelda destroys the cousins' TV. The cousins change Sabrina and Ants into country bumpkin clothing, I guess, when Hilda chewing on a grass weed or whatever it's called.
I did love Salem's outfit.
Hilda turns Boyd's shower water into mud, but he doesn't seem to care that much. Boyd turns the bathroom into an outhouse. Sabrina turns the outhouse into a pristine bathroom. Then Sabrina offers Harvey and Valerie a lava lamp to entertain them. The cousins give Sabrina and the family beer bellies, and Sabrina brings a gnome to life that starts chasing the cousins around. Sabrina then starts floating because the cousins are messing with gravity, so Zelda summons a tornado, but Sabrina stops her. Sabrina says she'll just give them the magic book. Great Granny suddenly appears. Sabrina's confused because she thought she was dead because of the will. Zelda clarifies that they go through multiple wills because of their long lives.
The witch version of garage sales, according to Zelda. At the start of that scene, Hilda says, "Those hayseeds are messing with gravity." Which, a little word history, the derogatory term hayseed is aimed at rural folks who aren't particularly urbane or savvy. It's a stereotype of someone who's comfortable in the country, being awkward, bumbling, and unsophisticated, especially when visiting a city. The US slang comes from the common 19th century saying that country people have hayseed in their hair.
They tell Great Granny their side of the story, and she summons the cousins to tell their side. They accuse Sabrina and Ants of hogging the magic book and bringing them to the mortal realm to flaunt their riches. Great Granny tells them that the will was fair. The cousins chose to get all of her money. They spent it, though.
But they did mention they invested it, but who knew Chihuahua racing wouldn't take off?
Great Granny tells them to stop blaming their circumstances and to go around their obstacles. The cousins still protest until Great Granny yells at them and Zelda interrupts her. Great Granny sends Zelda to the corner and tells Racine to unseal the house. Racine complies and the cousins leave. Hilda goes to count the towels. Valerie and Harvey can finally leave, still astonished by things. Sabrina asks Great Granny to come visit now that she's not dead, and Zelda is still in the corner. In our end tag, Sabrina is off to the aquarium, and this is like the next day, and taking the bus, but she'll be in a bad mood when she gets back.
Try being on a burro with the rest of your husband's possessions, says Hilda. Husband? Donkeys? Husband owning a donkey? Traveling? What is this?
No, I don't have an explanation for this one.
More history, we'll never know.
And then we see Zelda still floating in the corner, and she's wearing the same outfit she was in the previous part of the episode, so she's just been hanging up there for overnight. She yells for Grandma, and we hear a no.
I loved Beth's dramatic, like, wriggling up while she's floating.
Yeah.
The entire time.
The special effects when Sabrina first starts floating are not fantastic. Her legs get, like, weirdly distorted.
Yeah.
The one for Zelda was a little bit better. All right. What do you think, Sky? Fun episode?
Fun little jaunt in redneck country.
So join us next time when we discuss Season 2, Episode 10, To Tell a Mortal. Sky, what do you think that one's going to be about?
Sabrina's going to tell Immortal, but I do not think it's going to be Harvey because according to a tattoo I'm supposed to get, season 3 or season 4 seems to be when Harvey finds out. So Sabrina's going to tell Valerie because Valerie won't believe it or is not the brightest. Chaos ensues.
We're going to wish we had Jenny again for this one, I think.
Oh, Jenny.
Poor Jenny.
Jenny, come back. You can blame it all on Sabrina.
Oh, man. Well, in the meantime, you can like, share, rate, and subscribe to this podcast. Tell your friends and family about us. Maybe your enemies too. If you hate the podcast and you want them to suffer. We'll take hate listens. We'll take love listens. You can also email us at somethingwitchypod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at somethingwitchypod if you want to see the cool pictures I'm going to put up of me and Sky and some Abraham Lincoln hats. And you can follow us on TikTok at something.witchy.pod. Until next time.
Choose the right whale.